Right. Could you introduce yourself?
Mamdu Ibrahim, known as Sensei Abraham by most people. 40 years old. I own Ultimate Martial Arts and Fitness and Fit and 50 in Lynbrook. That's it.
Could you tell me a little bit about your credentials?
I am currently pending 5th degree black belt in Shotokan Karate. I am a World Karate Federation certified coach. I am also a national coach in karate as well. I have been teaching karate since 2003, part-time, and full-time since 2009. I've also been teaching fitness classes since 2009 as well.
You mentioned a few disciplines. Well, what would you say your primary discipline is?
So when I started as a 9 years old, I started with judo. And by age about 12, 13, I was a brown belt in judo. And then I started exploring other different types of martial arts. I did boxing and kickboxing in Egypt. I did kung fu for about 5 years, and karate was simultaneously at the same time. I did
You
soccer.
mentioned Egypt.
Yes.
Can you elaborate a little bit more on what you did there in Egypt?
So I was born and raised in Egypt. 1979 I was born, Alexandria, Egypt, and I came to the US when I was 20, so I lived in Egypt for 20 years. It was fun, you know, I love every part of it. Growing up, my family was into martial arts. My older brothers were also doing judo. Naturally, I started in judo, and my dad was in wrestling. So we always played around the house.
Gotcha. So it's something since you were born, it was already instilled in your blood, the combat. Gotcha.
Basically, when my older siblings got to the house, we would have a meal together, you know, family dinner. And we had a room that was actually empty room. And we would go inside this room and wrestle and do judo and practice martial arts. And this started since I was like 5-6 years old.
Wow. You mentioned your siblings. How many siblings do you have?
I have 2 siblings. I have 2 brothers and 2 sisters.
Okay.
So,
and your sisters also, when you were younger?
No.
They competed? No.
I was the youngest boy, so...
so they toughened you up. Okay.
For sure.
Okay.
They all put a number on me, and I had to put a number back on them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you came here to the States, where did you start?
I came in to New York and in Astoria, and I had a dojo in Astoria, Queens, with Miyazaki Sensei and Kai Leong Sensei, and I started continuing to train with them, and I kept on training, you know. Stayed in the country for a few years, and then later on I started teaching, and later on when I started teaching, I started also taking up Jiu-Jitsu. So I did Jiu-Jitsu. I'm still doing it now for about another 10-12 years.
What's the main difference now between these two practices?
Right, so karate is very inclusive of many things. It's an art for self-defense. It literally translates into empty hand from Japanese. And the idea is to protect yourself using empty hands against attacks. So it's meant for self-defense. It has punches, it has kicks, just like kickboxing. It has takedowns, just like judo. It has arm locks and chokes, and that's what's practiced in the bunkai, the breakdown of katas. So karate is very inclusive. However, very recently, karate is only teaching striking and self-defense standing up. So judo came handy in improving my takedowns, and jiu-jitsu came handy when improving my ground game. So the grappling and the wrestling and the submission game on the ground with the chokes and the locks and the joint manipulation. So fusing all this together really kind of gave me an edge. So I started teaching MMA as well, and I became a professional MMA coach in state of Florida and California.
Wow, so do you still continue with that? You still have fighters?
Right, so we had fighters. It wasn't a very consistent thing, and at the same time I had tremendous growth in karate, so I kind of had to choose where I keep my focus. So I really wanted to keep my focus on karate. Now I have athletes that, since the start of the dojo 7 years ago, I have 3 athletes that joined the U.S. national team. And up until 6 months ago, I have Samuel Su, who's 13 years old, under 40 kilos, and at World Karate Federation level, he got a silver medal in Mexico. Wow. You know, competing against the best in the world. So I really had to focus. My students that have started with me when they were very, very young are now flourishing and becoming really, really good. And I do travel the world with them. And it's a lot of fun.
You mentioned so many things. I know you have a lot of passion projects. Where would you say that, you know, your heart truly lies?
Man, this is karate, if I have to be honest.
Okay.
As a first priority. But honestly, my heart always lies inside the walls of a dojo, any dojo, inside an environment where it's producing happiness and health from within by good training, you know, fitness training. And that's why we expanded into Fit and 50.
Can you elaborate a little bit on the Fit and 50?
Right, so we started doing fitness classes and we've been doing it for years. People love it. They like it a lot. So it started off in the dojo, kind of like something separate, and it evolved into... Right, so I find that people like senseis as trainers a little more than trainers because of the multidiscipline and the upbringing. For example, in order to become a personal trainer, it's probably 2-3 years worth of training, and then a course that you take for a few months, you get certified, and then you move on. To become a sensei, it takes about 15 years at least.
If that, maybe more. Yeah.
Yes. So it takes many, many years and a lot of study of the human body and the human dynamics of movements. So combining this together really made me try to understand the human body more. And so when we started teaching fitness, people really liked it.
So would you say that per se a sensei has an advantage over a personal trainer?
If the sensei's heart is in it, and they continue to study anatomy and sports medicine, I think they have a better feeling of it.
Could fuse both worlds together.
Yes, if they obviously supported by science, you know, they have a better grip on the long run. So when the heart is in it, they can learn more, and if they love what they do, they become really good at it.
You mentioned a few of these classes you hold. Could you go into what exactly entails in a class? What's going on there?
In the fitness or the martial arts? In the Fit and 50. Okay, so Fit and 50 is a new concept that we're creating for a 50-minute bootcamp training, high-intensity interval training classes that have circuit training, that some of them have cardio training on a treadmill, rowing machine, or air machine.
Could you elaborate on some of the HIIT workouts and some in more simplistic forms for people that are not too familiar with these type of terms?
So the word HIIT is high intensity interval training. Take for example a air dyne. That's an air bike. It's used for resistance training, strength training, but it's also a lot of cardio. There is, for example, a Tabata, a 4-minute workout that you do 20-second high intensity and a 10-second low intensity, or you just rest for 10 seconds. But when you go for 20 seconds, you go as hard as you can. During 4 minutes, it's very, very intense. It doesn't matter who's training for these 4 minutes. As long as they go as hard as possible, they will get the maximum potential of the workout. The idea is to reach a target heart rate zone that they need to be in to achieve a higher burn of the calories. And it doesn't even make a difference what fitness level they come from. It could be professional athletes, or it could be a total beginner who just started working out a week ago. It really doesn't matter. The idea is to work everyone to the maximum potential, to achieve their limit and go a little bit to endeavor beyond the limit.
In the circuit training?
Pretty much. Different weight levels, different dumbbells weights, different resistance training bands, different plyo box jumps, different battle rope weights, TRXs, air dye machines, battle ropes.
It sounds
treadmills.
like very complicated stuff.
It really is not.
Are you only
It's
training
not.
people that have experience?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Anybody could actually learn it really, really quickly.
Okay.
And it's guided. There's a trainer or two at the room. Nevertheless, the classes that we're creating at Fit and 50, they're only capped at 12 people. So there's a lot of personal attention to details, and the people that are doing weights is only 4 people at a time. So the trainer is really demonstrating and showing everyone exactly what to do, standing there making sure they actually do it the right form, starting with lightweight or no weight at all in the beginning until they get the form right, and then little by little pick up a heavier weight. Not only there's a trainer attending and monitoring how they do it and fixing or modifying it, but there's also a screen on TV that shows the exercises and the circuit that they're doing so that no one is lost. Not only this, there's also a heart rate monitor strap that attaches to them close to the heart, monitors the heart rate, and kind of give us a story based on their age and their weight, how much of their heart rate capacity can they handle, and what's the heart rate zone that they should be in. So the whole thing is monitored by high technology and human eyes as well. So I think it's going to be a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful workout idea that will infuse cardio, weight training, aerobic and anaerobic to improve not only the physical well-being but also the mental well-being of whoever trains at Fit and 50.
Could you go into a little bit of the online classes that we're currently doing right now?
Okay, so we're currently doing online classes for Fitness Bootcamp, and myself, I do Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday, for example, 10 a.m. Sensei Yuli does other classes at 5:30 a.m. as well, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So we cover pretty much every day of the week. For now, we're doing karate classes as well. Based on their levels. There is an age 3 to 5 years old, a beginner class from 6 years old and up, intermediate, a different one for the advanced, and a different class also for the kickboxing. That's Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8 p.m. Because of the pandemic and the government mandates to shut down, we were not able initially to connect with students that have become like family to us. We love seeing them. So we wanted to continue to connect with them. So we figured maybe we should go on an online platform to still connect with our students that would be interested in continuing training. And amazingly enough, there's a lot of people that are actually doing it.
No, it's great.
I'm very happy to see a lot
for
of
the kids especially,
Yeah.
and the people. It's still some form of human contact.
Absolutely.
And it's a way to keep things going. It's great.
It's great. It keeps me knowing what day of the week it is
Absolutely.
and what time I have to get there. Hopefully we'll get back. We'll be stronger than before, and we got to stay positive.
What do you see in the future?
Greatness.
Okay.
Greatness. Very optimistic, very hopeful. I know that with hard work, we've been dedicated to what we do. We're very passionate about it. It doesn't feel like work. We enjoy every second of doing it, and we're happy to be there at the dojo and at Fit and 50 studio all the time, spending time with people that we love seeing. It's a great feeling to be in the walls of positivity. So I see greatness and beyond.
Okay, Sensei, I need to leave off with one thing that most of your students don't know about you.
Oh boy. I love to cook. I love the grill. I love fishing. I am married to a beautiful wife that's amazing human being. I'm very lucky to have her by my side. I have a daughter. Her name is Rose, that's 3.5 years old. That's about it.
Okay. Now, one thing you can't do.
A lot.
Come on, can you do a backflip?
That I cannot do.
There we
for
go.
sure.
You can't do a backflip.
A lot of stuff. I'm just a sensei, not a superhuman, but a good human who loves life and loves interacting and helping with people and improvement in life and making them achieve the ultimate pursuit of happiness. That's what I like to do.
Sensei, thank you so much for your time today. We appreciate
It's my pleasure.
this.
Thanks
and
for
we
having
hope
me.
this video actually brings things to a more personal level for people.
Thank you. It was a surprise, a total surprise. And Sam just told me, hey, sit down, let's talk.
Absolutely.
Let's
This wasn't prepared. It was unscripted, off the top of the head.
Yes. So, thank you. Appreciate it. Bye.